trailer is way too high and it's loaded down. So the time has come to utilize the landing gear life hack. So here we are. Make sure my ratchet's set to loosen. Golly. I have to turn this cranking handle over a bit because it won't fit. And I don't have a second ratchet. Okay. That'll work. Alright. There you go. Yeah. Make sure you get that. Make sure I get that friggin' washer. And there's our crank handle. So, crank handle's off. Let's go get the big boy toys. Excuse my truck, it's a mess. Battery charged. Here we go. Ultra lift crank handle tool. So the thing is, we got to take this adapter, put it on that crank handle, which I'm hoping. Goodness gracious, that's big. That'll work. Yeah, okay. Slight hiccup. Nothing big, no big deal. Just this is the adapter for the landing gear shaft, and it's got a Torx bit that is bigger than what I've got in my truck, and this nylon nut is also bigger, so it's going to involve a little bit of creative tool work here. No big deal. This is the first time I'm ever using this thing. According to my rep, this is designed to fit over any landing gear, and it does. Nice. Okay, we're not gonna tighten this down though, because I don't need it to stay on there. Okay, we can attach this. So I figured out what the issue was. You see, what had happened was I forgot that the landing gear was set to high gear rather than low gear. Okay guys, let's talk about what just happened. I could have edited the video down to make myself look good, but I decided against that because I want to be honest with you guys. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, well, Gonzo, why did you spend north of $750 on a tool that you could just do yourself, you know, crank it right by hand? And yes, you're absolutely right there, Cletus, I could. Here's the issue though. As I've mentioned before,
back in the water.
Wow.
The fact that
that one started talking and my iPad started reading my audiobook. So as I've mentioned a couple of times before, either here or on the Facebook, I have a bad back. And with a bad back, there comes risk. in a situation like the one I was just in, where the trailer is really high. I mean, that thing was at least, it's kind of difficult to see from the video, but that trailer was at least 6 to 8 inches above the fifth wheel. Now, contrary to what you may have read online, 6 to 8 inches is quite a bit, okay? Especially when the trailer's loaded down with 40,000 pounds of pork products. So, what are we to do in that situation? You have several options. First and foremost, the most obvious of which is put it in low gear and put some, put your back into it. I can't do that because, again, bad back. So, next option. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Wow. Next option is you could next option is you could do what some other people would do, and sorry, I'm getting breakfast while I'm talking to you guys. Do what somebody else would do, and go get the yard dog and have the yard dog come lift the trailer up so you can lower the landing gear. Raise the landing gear and get underneath the trailer. That's all fine and dandy. Good option. But here's the deal. You don't always have that option. Yard dogs are almost, they're almost usually always busy. So, and even if they aren't, you have to either, drive over to where there's a yard dog, wait till he's not busy and talk to him, or you wait there until a yard dog comes by and flag him down. All of this takes time, by the way. And then you have my decision, what I'm doing, which is taking a tool that I bought out of my own money, out of my pocket, which I don't mind. Yeah, it was expensive, but you know what? That's a tax deduction. And you take this tool and you make it work for what you've got. So, yeah. Do I have to take the crank handle off? Yes, I do. But I've had to do that before, even without having to mess with the freaking landing gear height. Situations where you have a broken landing gear, like I did a few weeks ago. Situations like that, you just can't help. So, yeah. But my battery died just as I was explaining to you guys. So let me go ahead and tell you what had happened after I start this microwave, which is 30 seconds and 40 seconds. So what had happened was I took the landing gear crank handle off, and when you saw me adjust the landing gear so I could get to the bolt and nut, I left the landing gear in high gear. Now, that tool is super high torque. I'm sure, I don't know if you can see, but there was times where it'll get away from you, if you're not firmly grasping it, Patrick style from SpongeBob. Firmly grasp it. Anywho, so yeah, that's the thing that can happen. It was in high gear, and I tried activating the tool while the landing gear crank handle was in high gear. Now, ultimately, yes, this crank handle tool, this landing gear tool will crank if the landing gear is in high gear. But in this situation, with the trailer loaded down as heavy as it was, 40,600 pounds of pork, it wasn't going to do it. I got frustrated. You could tell because I stopped talking in the video. But I got frustrated and I put the crank handle back on and I was gonna just go get the yard dog. But then I thought to myself, well, wait, what's going on here? What's really going on here? So, yeah, I decided, okay, let me retrace my steps, turn the camera off, and I thought about what exactly had just gone down. And then I remembered. It's in high gear. So, not to say it can't happen, but not to say it can't happen, but I'm like, if I want to give this tool the best opportunity to succeed, that's gonna be if it's in low gear, because the torque conversion in low gear is much higher. So torque in low gear is much higher than torque in if you're in high gear. So that's what I did. I put it in low gear, put the tool back on it, and cranked it, and lo and behold, it worked. So that's what happened. Now, that's not to say there weren't issues. The issues that happened off camera after I had sorry, I'm hungry, y'all. After I had lost the battery on my camera, that's when I figured out that you should probably charge the battery. Because, yeah, my battery, it wasn't dead, but it was weak enough to the point where the tool would stop, and I would have to reset the battery. No big deal. It got done. But ultimately, in the words of Smart Hulk, I see this as a big win. You know, because the landing gear life hack does work. So, what does that mean in retrospect? I don't know. The fact that it's working makes me happy. You know, the fact that it was so expensive can be disconcerting to some. But if they would have told me it cost $1,000 and you got to pay for shipping, I would have done it anyway. Why? Because I'd rather spend that money and not risk my back. So, am I going to start taking off the landing gear on loaded trailers and just leaving it off, leaving the adapter on, and using the tool? No, I'm not. Most likely. Like I said, this tool is specifically for situations like the one I was just in. But we shall see. This video's gone on long enough. I'm sorry I didn't update you guys. It was a weird shift, man. I ended up being at the shipper in Carthage, Missouri, the Butterball in Carthage, Missouri, 6 hours and 44 minutes. 6 minutes short of 7 hours. And so that really messed with me, and it was a weird shift. But we got the load delivered. We headed over to Marshalltown, Iowa,
got this load. It was a drop-in hook. We got a load of pork. And we're headed over to South Carolina. We're doing okay. I will check you guys out in the next one. For now, peace out.